No life experience is more valuable than yours. And if you don't know that, if you're not feeling that, or if you haven't experienced that yet, that just means that you're still in the process of discovering who you are. You're still in the process of becoming your authentic self. And if you haven't discovered that, then that means I'm the one who was supposed to tell you, because it turns out that my life experience was meant to alert you to that fact that there's no other life experience that's more valuable than yours. You just may not have understood it. You haven't figured it out yet. You just maybe have had some difficulty in your life that you didn't know the value of who you were. And again, that means that I was the one who was meant to give you that information. And I am giving you a little gift today because it will help. We all move through our lives by developing who we are. You can think of it as we have to do personal development, or you can self-actualization, or what I talk about is ascension, because you want to know that your life on this earth meant something. We all know we don't live forever. So why aren't we living the greatest lives that we could now? Why aren't we happy? Don't we have everything that we want? And I'm saying that you can have all of those things when you understand that there is no life experience that is more valuable than yours. See, the only reason that you would not know that is that you've been taught something else. You've picked up something that told you weren't enough, or you couldn't do something, or you had an idea and you weren't the person to do it. I know because I've lived all of those things. But that's why I'm the person that I'm supposed to tell you. You can have it all. Someone said yesterday, I put out a video, and I think it was talking about, I create the blueprint to success. Yeah, I do have that for any person. And they said, well, if you have that, you wouldn't be here, meaning on a YouTube video talking about it. Yes, I would, because that's who I am. Because I'm going to always try to give people more information, more understanding, and to guide them to love themselves and become who they're meant to be. That's what my life has been. And at 73 years old, I can say that you can accomplish anything. There are no excuses. This is why I am so passionate about my work, because I've been through every excuse. I've been through every difficulty, every challenge, every failure, everything that you can possibly imagine. But those things were also purposeful, because I couldn't tell you how great you could become unless I knew for sure that you could do it. I couldn't tell you that you could heal unless I had done it. I couldn't tell you that you could come to understand and love yourself unless I had taken that process. And so I'm going to read one message to you, but I have a little gift for you, because when I saw this last night, I said, I have to talk about it. And then I also have to become more authentic. That's something that we do every day. If you're feeling a little bit afraid, if you don't have confidence, it's because you're being asked to take that next step into your authentic self. Because there's no reason for us to feel afraid or not have that confidence. It's a process that we all move through. And I thought about this. I said, this is like stage fright. When you have stage fright about when you're about to do something really big and you're really afraid. Yeah, this is why I also talk about skydiving. It's the same kind of an experience, because you're so afraid of it before you do it. And then you jump in or jump out, and then all of a sudden, oh no, this feels great. That's because you've taken another step into who you are. And so that's what I'm doing today. There are certain things that we just don't believe. I received information, cosmic guidance. People ask, well, what makes your program so different? Why are people changing so quickly? How's that happening? It's because I connected to another source. I connected to a greater source. And that's what I was meant to do. Everyone's not going to do that, but I know that every single person born has this worth and value in them just waiting to be developed. And my life was meant to bring in something which I call a new philosophy, because our world has changed. And so that's why I've brought in a new philosophy called Your Life Operating Instructions, that I put into a program called Your Last Development Program, because I know that people wouldn't need anything else. Now, I will tell you that sometimes we stop ourselves for many reasons. And when I talk about this, it won't seem to make sense, except I listened to it yesterday. There was a video that came out that was done 2 years ago. It was a Wilhelm channeling session where it said that I knew I had everything to give people, but I was a little afraid. I was afraid of accepting myself because then I would have to work with everyone. I would have to answer everyone's questions because when I discovered that I had this ability to channel and do get into other information and answer anyone's questions, that became a little overwhelming for me. But I can no longer do that because that's about to change as well. Many know that I called myself the reluctant mystic. You've been reluctant as well. We all are because we don't know what's next. That's all that it is. We're always, as long as we're alive, there's more that we can do. We can go to this next level of understanding, which only occurs in our consciousness. So the only reason that you would not know that your life experience is no one's is more valuable than yours. It's just that you haven't figured that part out. And so it doesn't matter what experiences you've had, what you've gone through, because when you read the little gift, the little ebook, you will see that I hadn't moved through all of them. That's what we all do. We have generational trauma we have to move through. We have so many things that are embedded within us that we don't understand. But many people have talked about this. I just happen to be a person who was given this role, and then I started understanding science, means I started understanding neuroscience, how our brains change, how they cause us to act in a particular way. This is why I did all the presentations that I've done in the last couple of weeks, because I just wanted to give people more understanding because our world is changing as well. And that's why the energies are shifting and we're all acting a little differently. We may not understand why or why others are acting a particular way. It's because every single person is doing the same thing. They're trying to find their relevance. They're trying to find who they're meant to be because then you start to love yourself. Then you're putting a entirely new energy, not only into your life, but into our world. And it turns out that was the role that I was given to bring to this earth. And so the more that we can move through judgment, because I had to move through all of it, judgment of myself, judgment of others, then you start to become lighter and you start to ascend and you start to heal. That's why I talked about mind body healing because I did all of that, but it only came through doing the work. And so that's what's going on for you. It's going on for all of us. I'm just a person who brought in a new way now because of this shift. That's why I talked about how people over time create new philosophies. And I created a new philosophy because it came through me because I wanted to see a generational change that would tell more people that they were perfect, that they could love themselves, that they have a unique life that they're meant to live, and all of that. And when you let go of the judgments, you do that. But this is the message that I saw last night, but it came through last year. And that's the part that a lot of people find a little challenging to believe that I would receive this information. But I want you to understand, and we're coming to understand this more in science, and great philosophers, people have told us this time is fluid. Everything is happening in the moment. But because I was able to access cosmic guidance, it was in alignment with changes that were happening on our Earth, on our planet. I know that was really difficult for me to accept as well until I started seeing it, and I keep seeing it. And that's what happened last night when I saw this message. My guide said, "We gave you a message since 2012 on this date, and if you put those together and give it to people, it will help them understand. They will understand why this work changes their lives because it causes you to think about yourself in a new way. And you start to understand that you do it over time. And so the suggestion is to take one of the message, just do one a day, possibly, and absorb it and see what happens. Do one the next day. And then you'll see how you start to evolve, how you start to move to a higher sense of understanding of who you are. And that's when you start to know for sure that no life experience is more valuable than yours because you were brilliant. You came to offer something, and you're just in the process of discovering that and understanding it. And at 73, I can say that when you get there, you feel great. Let me tell you, that's what happens. And this is the message. And on my website, there is the workbook. It's called a masterclass in personal development. But this is the message from last year. No life experience is more valuable than yours. That statement is true for every soul born onto the physical plane, but it is not one you or your world accept easily. That is the reason for the current restructuring of your world and why we have offered guidance on specific dates for you. which typically require using linear time to accept your importance. As you contemplate the message we provided in 2012, you will have more comprehension now, and your acceptance will aid in transforming your life and world. Everything in your physical life experience is about you. It is important for you to remember this fact, for you will begin to interpret all events, circumstances, and people that come into your life differently. This is not to be taken as a selfish journey on your part, but a path to expansion that benefits you and all others and mass consciousness. This concept allows you to accept responsibility for your life and eliminate the blame and causation you may place on others. When you feel not acknowledged by another, it is because you desire to acknowledge yourself. When you feel not loved by another, it is because you desire to love yourself. It is all about you. And that is what we all want to know and experience. And as you can see, that message came through in 2012. But yeah, I couldn't accept all of that right then. We don't. And so when we understand how we change, how our brains change, how our programming can change, then we can get to that place where we come to understand that no other life experience is more valuable than the one you have. You just have to figure out what it was. And I was given a path and a way to do that. Now, as I said, I had been hiding out a bit, but I am, and I'm saying this for all of the members who are currently in my program because I promised a lot more information. I'm doing that now. Now I'm really being pushed. And so, because I have, if you've got watched one of the presentations, you see I've been doing this for 35 years. I have a collection of transformational mindset, self-development, self-improvement, self-actualization, however you think of it, all those tools that you use, because you're only using them in your brain. I have them all and I've downloaded them all. And that's what healed me. And that's what I'm giving to others. And so on September 11th, there will be a screening of a television show, Beyond Belief with George Noory on Gaia. And I will let everyone know because that is coming out and that's going to kind of bring everything out in the open because I did talk about much of this in that episode. And so now the entire world will hear this and I have to catch up with myself. This is why I'm changing things and putting much more information into this work because my life is about to change in a big way. But I'm telling you, yours will do the same thing. And this is why I'm going to talk about, I'm going to document my entire life because I want everyone to know there is nothing that gets in your way that you can't get over, that you can't achieve something. There is nothing. I know this. This is why I live this life to be able to bring this information to the world. And I know that my legacy will be that I made a difference because so many more people live their lives by understanding who they are, loving who they have become and continuing to evolve and expand and contribute to the world in a meaningful way because every single person has the ability to do that. I just developed another way of doing that. You probably will develop an even better one because that's how evolution works. Please share this with others and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that. I'll leave the link to that session. It's on anyadvicefortoday.com, but it's called A Masterpiece in personal development. And as you go through it, you will see that you'll develop personally. All right. See you guys soon.